Success Acuna. Join me in Speak with Success every Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Together, let us conquer the fear. Hello and welcome to another episode of Speak with Success. Tonight, we will be talking about the relationship of the English language to public speaking, how important it is, and how English proficiency will help us in our lives. We have a very special guest tonight since this episode became possible because of the collaboration of two shows here in the Greatness Hub online channel. We decided to team up so we can give you more learnings and insights on the importance of honing your skill not only in speaking, but also in getting familiar with the English language. So please help me welcome our guest for tonight, Coach Joji De Los Reyes. Hi, Coach. How are you?
Hi, good evening. Good evening, Coach Seth. I am so honored to be invited and share my knowledge on English as well as its relationship with public speaking. Well, honestly, Coach says, no, my line is not really English.
Oh.
I am a professor, a teacher by profession, but my line is theology. However, I guess it is all because since I was young, we have been speaking English in my family with my foster parents and of course with other people. And as I was growing up, I don't know why, among my subjects since I was in elementary, English had always been the highest. Next to it was history. So much so that when I was in high school, I was placed in a English section. And I do not know why I've always been getting 100% in exams.
Wow.
And the truth is that I would only guess my answers, not because I really knew the answers, but I guess people really believed and thought that English was my line, maybe because of the way I was speaking and all that. No? But in truth, also, if ever I have good pronunciation and diction and all that, it is all because of the dictionary.
Yes, Coach.
Yeah.
So, pero ito, Coach, no? So, for those of the few here na, syempre, hindi nga, we expect those our audience not to be fluently speaking in English, no? So, kaya minsan magtatagalog tayo. So, yun.
Yeah, okay,
So, ito,
no
Coach,
problem.
kasi from your younger years, no? Ito na talaga yung nakagisnan mo kasi you're speaking in English sa bahay. And then, parang hindi ka na rin nahirapan to hone the skill kasi talagang ito na yung kinasanayan niyo. So before we start with our discussion, so let me first thank you for giving me the opportunity to have you here with me tonight. So it's an honor
Thank
po,
you too.
Coach, to have you here. So
Likewise.
I know this will be another evening full of learnings for everyone. As we all know, one cause of anxiety in public speaking is yung low proficiency natin sa English. So just last year, the Philippines slid to the 27th place and this is from the 20th spot last 2019. So ibig sabihin, bumaba yung tao na nagsasalita ng English and then parang bumaba din yung mga tao na nagkaroon ng skill to speak in English fluently. And because of the thought na syempre, especially sa mga bata, sa mga estudyante and those starting with their careers, na hindi tayo fluent nga in speaking in English, parang mas lalong nag-cause siya ng anxiety for most of us. So parang what we did was we gave up the opportunities to speak, na minsan 'di ba naglilid ito sa yung minsan meron tayong mga promotion opportunities sa office, and because of our lack of skill or hindi tayo masyadong fluent sa pagsasalita, parang gini-give up na lang natin yung opportunities na yon.
Right.
So now, Coach, sa tingin mo, no, what do you think is the main reason or the contributing factors as to why we are lagging behind when it comes to English proficiency? Ano ba yung naging contributing factors sa bawat isa sa tingin mo kung ba't nagkaganito?
I think allow me to go back to history, no?
Okay.
Sometime kasi when the Americans occupied us, no, as far as that, Coach, no? When the Americans occupied us, they thought that we would be speaking Spanish because we were also occupied by the Spaniards for 300 years. So they thought that our mother language would be Spanish. But to their surprise, walang unifying language, no? Everybody was speaking their own language, regional language, and dialects. So in April of 1898, I should say, President McKinley thought na let's print English books and let's make English a unifying language. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, again, only the Tagalog-speaking students or pupils, we called that more in the past, no, understood English. So again, in the inscripts, sa mga probinsya, sa mga wala pa rin. And in 1974, when Marcos became the president, he came up with the bilingual language. The medium of instruction, which was then English, he introduced the vernacular. Why? Para to facilitate the understanding and comprehension of the young in the past. So there came to be two media of instruction, the English and the vernacular. However, while some educators at the time, and still some educators would not accept the truth, na this has contributed more to the decline of speaking English, more to the decline of comprehending in English. Kasi ang mga newspapers mostly were written in English. Hindi naman Tagalog. Tabloids lang. Even tabloids in the past, meron English pa rin. Napakadalang ng Tagalog. No? So, who would be understanding that? Ilalagay yan doon sa ibang lugar. Who would be understanding that? Wala. Okay? So, what happened was, ginawa itong media of instruction, English and vernacular, and yet, maski na sa English lesson, you would hear the teachers not speak in English. Tagalog pa rin.
Yes.
Lalo na sa mga provinces. Vernacular. Kung Bisaya. No? I remember one experience in Iloilo, when I taught in Iloilo. And this literature teacher, high school, kasi I was made to be the supervising teacher for different subjects, no? And I would just pass, kasi nahiya naman ako na kabata-bata ko coming from Manila, ako pa yung supervising. So I would just pass by the rooms. And there she said, literature. Where is your book? Where is your book? Ambot, di nang mo yung libro, kung wala ka libro, ihaboy ka kalkalbit. You know?
Yes.
So, there is no consistency. Then, in the development of books later on, because of that vernacular instruction, nag-decline ng understanding, even if there were teachers or students who got into sa education major in English, they themselves do not have proper way of grammar. There's no good grammar. Then teachers came together to develop English books. But even the English books are very poor. So, what will you expect? By the time, it is not surprising that by this time, we would continue declining. Why? Because there is no changing of the system in teaching English. There is no study being made to make English of the students proficient. So what happened? Obviously, decline. Hanggang ngayon naman. And then, when Chris Aquino came from Boston, she introduced the Taglish. She was the one who introduced
Yes.
No, she was my student at that time when she would stand in Poveda and she would stand and say, "Please pakipatay the electric fan."
Yes.
And I said, "Aquino, what are you trying to say?" Means I'm asking them to pakipatay the electric fan. Aquino, you speak English and you speak Tagalog well. If you want to speak in Tagalog, say things in Tagalog. If you want to speak in English, say things in English. Then she came and said, "Please somebody turn off the electric fan." Oh, I think that's a lot better, Aquino. Sit down. You know.
Wow.
So, no? And she introduced that. So Taglish became a fad. So much so that even in people way of speaking with one another, Taglish comes in. Hindi na pwede yung walang Tagalog. Bakit? Dahil nga doon sa they cannot express themselves properly now in English. No. And because of this, these are the factors that contributed or contribute to the lack of confidence of people to stand and marinig ako. Because nga my tongue is more easy to speak in English. Pag mayroon nang nakarinig sa akin, para bang, ay, sosyal. Parang ganun na,
yes,
no?
Yes.
Ay, sosyal. Wow, nosebleed. Nagkaroon lang ako one time, I told my son, where did you come from? Yeah, because somebody sounded me off. Yun lang. Somebody sounded me off that there's going to be an activity. Sabi nung kaibigan niya, wow, sounded me off.
Yes.
So, para bang kung minsan, ako mismo, hindi ko malaman, ako ba, will I have to be ashamed that I keep on speaking English? But then I thought, no, I'll go on. Because this is one way of also making them realize na when they speak their English, kailangan makorek din yung mga grammar, yung makorek yung kanilang sentences. Now, when speaking of, when getting into the public speaking, so many would not want to stand sa public speaking.
Yes.
Kung Tagalog yan, marami. Diba? Kung sa Pilipino yan, marami. Pero pag sa English, since Taglish is already accepted, so Taglish is used.
Yes.
And it gains them confidence. Why? Kaya nila. Kaya nilang mag-express both in English and Filipino. Even with the BPOs, meron
ito kasi coach, 'di ba? Kasi 'di ba nasabi mo nga because of the Taglish, 'di ba, sa text din. So sa text din message, 'di ba? It's more on shortcut.
Exactly.
Kasi kaya minsan pati spelling mali na din because of that. And then yung sa Taglish naman, siguro mas naging confident nga talaga yung mga tao because nga hindi nga fluent lahat. So they were able to to, parang naging confident sila magsalita kasi nga Taglish na siya.
Taglish.
Yes, and then in the BPO industry kasi minsan din magaling mag-English pero yung pronunciation at saka grammar naman ang nawawala. Kasi since they are talking with foreigners, hindi naman sila masyadong parang hindi nila masyadong check yung grammar. So
right.
Yes.
There was one time, again, no, from my experience, somebody called me up. Alam mo yung mga they're selling commodities or items. They try to call you up and I am from like this and like that. And there was somebody who called me up and started to speak English as, is this Maria Josefina, Tanya, Paredes, Reyes? Yung pa siya, so in the process that I was speaking, I do not understand the word you're saying. Kasi kinakain niya.
Slang.
No?
Yeah.
Oo, ini-slang niya. Maybe because they believe that when they speak it that way, when they speak the words that way, social na yon.
Social, yes.
Oo, di ba? Social na yon and very impressive. No? Very impressive para sa... I said, please, you slow down in speaking and I do not understand. Do not eat your words. Oh, yes, ma'am. Are you a Filipino or an American? I'm a Filipino, ma'am. Well, speak your English properly like a Filipino. So then I will
madam.
Diba?
Yes.
Diba? No? And maybe he was taken aback and he started to speak as natural as food. There, I understand you now. Don't eat your words. And all those things, no? Kasi nga, we try to also impress. Maybe because hindi na ipasanay sa mga tao yung pagsalita ng English. And what happens is that when you speak English, social talaga, napakataas na. So, they also have to impress people na, wow, galing niya speaking English. Pero
Kaya
even in pero slang and all that, shwa. Pero understanding what they are even saying or what I would be telling them, hindi kami mag-meet. See? Hindi kami mag-meet. Why? Because he cannot also express, that person, he could not express himself better than Tagalog. So I told him, you don't have to speak with me in English. If you cannot tell me straight in English, Tagalogin mo ako dahil Filipino tayo.
Yes. And sometimes kasi, coach, di ba? When it comes to speaking in English, especially if madaming mas hindi nagsasalita, when it comes to, di ba, kakantsawan ka, na pasosyal ka, sometimes ikaw din affected, kaya hindi ka na lang din magsasalita. That's why, minsan, instead of masanay ka in speaking the language, dahil nahihiya ka, dahil kinakantsawan ka, hindi na rin, pati ikaw, nadala ka na din sa mindset nila na gano'n.
That's true.
Na pag yes.
And even with this program that we have, in this show, Let's Speak English, dahil nga hindi yan ang forte ko, sabi ko nga, papikitin nilang ang mata ko, kayang-kaya ko yung theology. Pero English, not because I speak English, I'm very well versed about the whole thing. I have to study.
Yes.
So that I will be able to project it properly in my show. I have to study. I have to refresh my knowledge on the adjectives, on these things, no? And how do we gain confidence so that when we stand, we can speak English without fear? Number one, I do believe is that read a lot. You're not used, these are from my experiences, Coach says.
Yes.
No? This is not coming from what are suggested by books, by articles, but this is from my experience, that read a lot. Continue, go over what you have read. If there is a word that you come across, consult the dictionary. What is the meaning? Because up to now, I do this. coach, no? When I create whatever article or speech or whatever, I look for the right term. I go to the dictionary. I go to the thesaurus. This is the term I have in mind. I go to the thesaurus and I check on what word might best fit what I want to say. If I found one, I go to the dictionary to check if that is the right word I want to use so as to express what exactly I have in mind and in feelings. No? So that is number one, read a lot. Well, one of the reasons also that I became a little bit adept to this English is because when I was very young as in grade 4, grade 5, my mother would communicate with the Secretary of Foreign Affairs then, Echanova. I can't forget that. And there were a lot of legal papers that she would compose, and she would tell me at that age and grade level, grade 4, grade 5, she would give me a paper, write her thoughts, and then she would tell me, compose a letter. Young as I, para siyang military, very militaristic. I can't say no. I couldn't say no to her. Sabi ko, mag-compose ako ng sulat. What am I going to do with this? Binigay lang niya mga gist. What am I going to do? So ako naman, I would try my best. So I would be able to compose. I'd give it to her. She would correct that. The grammar, the preposition, the linking verbs, which I never knew at that time, no? Lahat yan. And then she would ask me to do it again. And then after that, I give it back to her, and she would correct it again until she would make me type it. Kasi tapos na, finalized na. Okay na yung ginawa ko. Type it. Tuldok, coach says. And that's how I learned to type also. So in other words, another way to make us get exposed is allow ourselves. Let's not be afraid if somebody, our boss, our higher ups would ask us, write me a letter. Do it. Of course, there is this anxiety and
Yes.
Hindi ka sigurado kung magagawa mo, but do it. Bravely do it. Kasi that's one way of learning. No? Kaya tuloy, I was teaching theology, but when I would write letters, ang tanong ng mga iba, Georgie, are you a lawyer? Kasi the way I would construct letters, very legal.
Mm-hmm.
Theologian ako, tapos lawyer yung aking content. Teka muna, I have to make it, jive with my profession. All those things. So, read a lot. Allow yourself to be exposed. Hindi yung you talk with that person, English speaking yan. Alam naman ng karamihan na mas kinakarabaw English ang ating English.
Yes.
The Filipinos still speak English. There was a time that before this bilingual language, we were the third speaking English country. And that I can't forget that. I was so proud. What happened? Now you're telling me we have even gone down. So something's wrong. We are not anymore giving it importance. Tignan mo yung ating mga opisyales, government officials. Do they speak English now as straight as the politicians in the past would? Hindi na. Tagalog na rin.
Yes.
Our news, I'm not downgrading. But if we're talking about yung proficiency in English, we are more exposed to the decline of English than making English a language that can be most appreciated by us and used. Considering even that of all universal languages, The most spoken universal language is English. Hindi
It's
naman
English,
Russian.
yes.
To my surprise, dati nung elementary ako, 5 lang ang universal languages. English, Spanish, French, I don't quite remember the other two. Ngayon, when I was making my research, 8 na. Kasama na si Russia, kasama na si China, meron pang isa, you know. So, in business, dito sa Pilipinas, people doon sa Chinatown, people learn Chinese more than English. Why? Because ang mga boss nila Chinese.
Chinese, yes.
No? Para hindi maintindihan nung bumibili ng item, si empleyado tsaka si Chinese na boss, they would speak in Chinese.
In Chinese.
It's no longer like in the past, they would speak in English. So, na ano na yun? Naisatabi na yun.
Sometimes nga, there were instances din sa office, pag may papasok, foreigner ang asawa, di ba parang, ikaw na, kasi hindi ako maiintindihan. Di ba? They fear speaking in English. Kasi siguro takot sila na mapahiya. Yeah. Or feedback from other people that trying hard naman anya to, di ba yung mga ganon. So siguro din in one way din of para masanay ka is to speak in English on a regular basis. Right. Every day mag-i-English ang kahit sa bahay, di ba? It's kaya di ba yung mga bata ngayon ang galing mag-English because of the television shows that they are watching. That's right. So it really helps them. Kaya sa viewers natin, no, it would be better then na papanoorin natin yung mga anak natin ng mga cartoons na English para at least they will get used to speaking in English as well.
Yes. And speak with them in English.
Kaso nga, yung minsan yung parents nga, di ba, the fear is there. Kaya minsan, pati sila intimidated na sa anak, English speaking. To, nosebleed ako.
Nosebleed. That nosebleed has even become an expression of,
yes.
Diba, wag mo akong kausapin ng English. Di ba? No, that's one way of saying, nosebleed ako dyan. Wag na lang. I move away from that. And then, of course, there is this factor na in classes where English is being taught, the teacher would allow the students to answer in Tagalog. So the teacher is speaking in English, the student answers back in Tagalog. And the teacher would accept that and respond also in Tagalog. So there is no it's not again given importance. So that even our English books, as I said, wala na, decline. When I would read the English books, mabuti na lang ang mga anak ko homeschooled because I chose the books. I chose the books. Those were the books that I used in teaching them. But when other relatives, mga pamangkin, mga ganyan, tignan ko yung mga libro nila. Okay, ako hindi ko naintindihan. Simple English pati doon sa mga kindergarten.
Yes.
Simple English.
Mali-mali.
Diba? As much as, well, it's not our line. It's not the point of our discussion.
Yes.
In the same manner, sa history, the history books are not even properly written in English. Mali-mali pa ang facts. They're no longer facts. They are made up. Kaya pati si Mocha, hindi niya alam kung nasaan nga ba yung certain mountain.
Mayon is located in Legazpi. Sabi niya nasa Naga daw.
Naga.
Yes. No? Here in Legazpi I'm in Legazpi right now. So, nandito sa amin yung Mayon volcano. Yes. And then, minsan siguro, kasi di ba minsan sa news, nakikita ko din yung pinabatikos nila yung mga libro kasi merong mga errors, not only in English, but in other information na, yung mga ibibigay na information. So, yun. So, Coach, aside doon sa tingin mo, no, aside sa reading and looking out for yung unfamiliar words sa dictionary, no, what do you think can most of us do. Parang ano ba yung kailangan naming aralin? Kahit matuto lang tayo sa, kasi di ba may tinatawag na conversational English or business English din, and hindi ka masyadong fluent masyado, though lumalabas na fluent because of parang conversational English siya. And then business English para sa mga words na dapat alam mo. So what do you think can we do, yung mga audience, for us to be able to improve ourselves when it comes to speaking?
Again, because that's how I improve my English. Again,
Yes.
I go back, read a lot.
Okay.
Read a lot, and then practice. I-adapt mo. Kung ano yung nabasa mo, you try to, you know what I did? I would stand in front of the pader, of the wall, and I would be talking in English like as if I was talking with somebody in English, even if nobody was answering me. And then, in the process na nagbabasa ka kasi, you will come to realize na parang meron atang mali din sa sinabi. Then I go back. Oo, diba? And then I go back. And then, take a little, be a bit serious in learning. Kung nag-aaral ka, if you're a student, in learning the language while it is being taught to you. Do not take it like as if na, okay lang, answer lang ako, listen. Basta okay na ako na nakakuha ako ng magandang grade sa English lesson ko, but I don't speak it. Speaking it is a great contributing factor. Speak it, mas hanap ka kung ayaw mong mapahiya, hanap ka ng isang tao na hindi kasing galing mo sa pag speak ng English. Oo, no? Hanap ka. And then you speak English with that. Doon sa knowledge. Yung basic construction of sentence is very important. That is the reason why coach says, yung ating show ngayon, let's speak English. No? We are here showing how to speak English. Let us learn and relearn. So we are taking up there what is noun, what is verb, how do we make them agree, how do we compose a sentence from this, no? And if you are very interested in learning English, exert effort. Listen to programs like this. Ako, coach says, I listen. Kasi nga, binigay ito sa atin ni Coach Chef. I'm sorry, ng ating coach, no? And I would listen sa YouTube. There is one person that I really listen to. Well, British English siya. British English. Ayun ang talagang hinahanap ko, not the American, for the reason that English is English from Britain, not from America. There is no such thing as English na galing sa America. So, I would listen to this person and learn. Paano ba niya pronounce yan? I would do it. I would do how she pronounced it. But I don't have to exactly pronounce it the way she pronounced as a British English, as a Briton. But at least, I get to know paano i-pronounce ang can, may. Mga maliliit na bagay, coach. Maliliit na bagay. When I was given this responsibility of let's speak English, it was then I came to realize na ito yung mga factors na hindi na natin binigyan ng pansin.
Yes,
and that is the reason why we cannot also speak English properly, construct sentences properly. Our grammar is very good. No? And again, I do hope that our government will give this also importance. Kasi ngayon hindi na talaga binibigyan.
Yes, kasi now the focus is the mother tongue. Yung local language na dialect, yun na yung usual na focus nila instead of the English language.
And that, I have nothing against that kasi dapat meron naman tayo national language, no? The national language came a lot later, no? But at least kasi itong batang ito, eventually meron siyang gustong she wants to become a businessman and so on and so forth. How can you communicate with business people who speak English globally? No? Kaya tuloy one of the factors na parang we are being put down by foreigners is because yun nga. Sorry for
There are even
Arabaw.
hiring, 'di ba? Na pag hindi ka marunong mag-English, hindi ka kukunin.
Oo.
'Di ba? So parang it's really a requirement that you have to be na makapagsalita ka ng English even if hindi ka ganun ka fluent.
Exactly. And especially in BPO.
Yes.
Sa mga BPO,
Mhm.
di ba? Sa mga BPO, sa mga call centers, you want to become a call center agent, speaking English, taking your account is English account, then you have to learn it. Ang OA lang doon sa mga iba, yung mga TLs nila, they would try to teach them with a very shwa pronunciation.
Yes, kasi it will depend on the project, I think, kung anong state ng US, di ba? The way they pronounce, the way they speak. So they have to parang imitate.
Oo.
So that's one reason.
Oo, imitate, and yet, yun na nga, coach says, no? Imitate, and what we are imitating is the eating of words.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say this, but the Americans, they eat a lot of their words. I do not understand what they're saying. Why? Because they do not also pronounce their vowels properly. And it is in the pronunciation of vowels that you will be able to understand and listen and understand what the other one is saying, what the other one is talking about. No? So, ito ang tinuturo rin sa atin, mag-shwa. Oo. So, there was a foreigner who called up one time. I happened to have answered the phone. Sa bahay, looking for somebody I don't quite know. I'm so sorry, I said. I'm so sorry, but there's no such name in this place. I tried that call. What? Sabi ko, I can't. Okay. Look, are you an American? Yes, I'm American. Will you please open your mouth? Will you please open your mouth? I do not understand the word you're saying. And I'm so sorry, but I cannot understand the word. I will have to hang up.
Yes, even in hotels abroad. So that's the struggle when you call diba, tatawag ka. When you call them sa hotline nila. Sometimes hindi kayo magkaintindihan. Kasi siya, hindi ka rin naiintindihan because she speaks slow. Kasi diba, there's one technique daw. If you want to speak English, you speak slow. Huwag masyadong mabilis, especially if you're not fluent. Exactly. And then, ano pa bang strategy na, there was one person na sinabi sa akin, na you just speak. Huwag mong iisipin yung sunod na word.
Oo.
Kasi minsan doon ka nagkakamali sa pag-iisip mo ng next
because
word.
You want so much to say the word, to speak to put across what you want to say by putting so much concentration. Ano nga ba yung word na dapat?
Yes, then,
Never mind. Because in the process, that's how I also learned. In the process, a number of times when I was young, despite the fact that I spoke English with my family, as I was growing up, there were a lot of words that I did not pronounce or I did not use properly. And even the sentences. And I would hear my teacher say, it is like this. This is how you say it. Kasi meron din tayong pride, di ba? Na kapag na-correct tayo, syempre, that's very natural. Napagalitan, napagsabihan ako, no? Pero, take it as a grain of salt. Take it as a moment for you to learn. And put that at the back of your mind so that in the process, you will be able to say it and put it in a context that you already know how to put it into. So, again,
sometimes it's the fear of the feedback, the negative feedback you'll have. That's why, ayoko na lang. Hindi na lang ako magsasalita. Yes. So kasi, I was, na-experience ko yan before in my job. When I was able to talk to Coach Jeff, he was able to identify the the root cause of the fear in speaking, because I also experienced it before. And then it's usually I thought it was lack of confidence, but it was not. It's more on the fear of negative feedback.
Yeah.
So I was able to address it. That's why I was able to teach now, to be here in this show.
Yeah.
So this also helps me practice and improve my skills in
Exactly.
in a lot of ways, in different ways, in different things.
Oo. Be brave. Ang tapang-tapang natin sa napakaraming bagay. Let's be brave to learn. To learn
Yes.
something new. To learn what we have not been accustomed to. To learn what is not something that we have gotten ourselves used to.
Yes.
Be brave. Be bold.
Yes, and in learning kasi sometimes what affects us is the belief, the mindset as well. Na eto ako, ang tanda ko na, 'di ba? Yung sometimes I experience this with my team. Some are mas may edad sa akin. 'Di ba, yung minsan in our clients sa office, yung pinagsasabihan mo ako, mas bata ka pa sa akin, yung mga ganun. Yun ba yung mindset natin when we age, when we mature, that we think alam na natin lahat. That's why we stop there. We stop
That's
learning.
true.
Yes.
That's true.
So dapat mabago din natin siya in a way para at least we continue learning and grow.
Learning and
Yes. So that's very important.
That's true. And ako, what you just shared is very true, Coach. No? Kasi ako, tignan mo, I've already white hair. I have aged. Sa mga anak ko na lang, when they correct me, para bang gusto kong mag-react na, correct ako? Kung nagturo sa kanya nun, parang gano'n, no? Kasi homeschool nga sila. But I would keep quiet. Why? Because I have to reset my thinking na tama siguro yung sinasabi ng anak ko sa akin. Ganito. I have to be open. Be open to the new things. Iba na ang mundo ngayon. Be open to what they're saying so that in this manner also, you will be able to enter into their world. And then, when you are able to enter into their world, pwede na kayong what do you call this, live peacefully, not peacefully because you allow yourself to be corrected. Hindi porke matatanda, may edad na tayo, we know everything. No, it's not true. As time goes by, there are a lot of new things that we can learn, and we learn that from the younger people.
Yes, I do.
And among that, one among which is sometimes my children, or I should even say oftentimes, my children know better words than I do. And so I asked, ano ba yon? Anong ibig sabihin mo? Because there are new words now. Marami na rin mga words na bago sa dictionary.
Yes.
Kung alam nila, I want to know. So that I will also be able to know kung kaya kong gamitin yung word na yon in a particular context.
Do you think, Coach, it will help our audience to at least discover a few words in a day, no? Para at least ma-improve nila yung vocabulary nila. Kasi dati nung high school ako, natatandaan ko, my teachers tell me na, you read and you discover 5 to 10 new words unfamiliar to you para at least madadagdagan mo yung vocabulary. So siguro this is one way then of improving. Yes.
And then learn the vocabularies and then find out how can we use such word in a sentence in a particular context. Think of paano ko ba itong pwedeng gamitin? Ano bang sitwasyon? Anong occasion? How? Mga ganun, no? And then, yun nga, sabi ko, I would face the wall and practice my English.
I'll face the wall tonight. I'll practice every day, every night, para I'll improve more. And I'll continue to watch your show. So, Coach, we're running out of time, no? So, I hope you can invite our viewers sa show mo so they can also learn. No? So, yun. Yes, Coach.
Okay. So, given this opportunity to make us relearn our English and given this opportunity to know better how to speak in English, I invite you in listening, watching under the Greatness Hub. Let's Speak English. In the process, I will be learning also from you because, Coach, I am intending to hold a mini speech lab. Hindi ko pa alam kung paano ko ito gagawin.
And I'm looking forward to be part of that.
So that we can encourage more people to be able to learn how to pronounce a word, use the word, and hopefully in the process we'll be able to be of assistance to you in composing your letter, in composing your own speeches, in composing whatever articles in English. So this is our Let's Speak English show is every Wednesday from 5 in the afternoon to 6 in the evening. I hope to see every one of you.
So thanks, Coach.
Thank you too, Coach Cels, for giving me this opportunity. And I am so glad and happy that I have been able to contribute a bit.
Thanks, Coach. So this is all for now. I hope I have given you value tonight in exchange of the time you invested to watch and learn in this video. I hope to see you again next week, Tuesday at 8 p.m. for another learning episode of Speak with Success. Before we end, I hope you can like and follow my FB pages, Success Project, Coach Says, NAIA Philippines, Legazpi City. Please also follow iHealth Coaching and Business Solutions and the Greatness Hub online channel. Please feel free to message or comment if you need assistance in financial planning, life coaching, and wealth and financial coaching. Please also subscribe and don't forget to press the notification bell, like, share, and comment to Coach Says of Success Project YouTube channel. Thank you and good night.